Hey everyone, and welcome to Progression Vinyasa Flow. Today's class is part of a series of 3 classes where we will use similar sequences and build into more challenging poses during our progression. All 3 classes are for all levels, but since I can't be with you, I ask for you to listen to your body and to make modifications as needed. Let's begin our practice today in a wide-legged child's pose. By taking the knees wide, stretching the hands forward, and beginning to allow the body to melt into the mat. This pose has a lot to do with mobility in the hips and knees. So if this doesn't feel comfortable, please feel free to start in a seated upright position. Closing down the eyes with a few breaths here, allowing the body to further settle into the mat to connect with the ground. Notice the rise and the fall of the belly. Perhaps today you may wish to set an intention, something that can be carried through your practice, and perhaps something you can take into your day. Open the eyes and make your way to tabletop, placing the hands under the shoulders and the knees under the hips, moving into a few cow and cat poses. Begin by dropping the belly on an inhale, opening through the chest, and exhaling, rounding through the spine, tucking in the chin. Inhale into cow. Exhaling into cat. Again, inhaling into cow, feeling the openness in the chest. And exhaling into cat. Again, inhaling into cow. And exhaling into cat. Start to take a few modified cow-cat by shifting the weight back towards the heels and rolling the body through on an inhale to cow. Exhaling into cat, moving the weight back, rolling through on an inhale to cow. Let's do that again. Exhale to cat, shifting the body back, rolling through into cow. And one another time. Coming back to tabletop, reaching the left arm up to the sky. Begin to thread the left arm behind the right arm, placing the left cheek onto the floor. Feeling the stretch along the left arm up through the shoulder blade, up through the left side of the body, centering out the hips. Taking a few breaths here to reconnect with the breath. Reaching the left arm back up to the sky and placing it down along the right hand. Let's repeat this on the right side with the right hand reaching up to the sky. Threading the right hand through behind the left arm, placing the right cheek onto the ground. Centering out the hips. Breathing into this pose. Feeling the elongation through the arm, through the shoulder, through the right side of the body. A few more breaths here. And bring the right hand up to the sky and placing the right hand down along the left hand. Go ahead and reach your left foot back towards the back of the mat on a flexed foot and begin to push your ankle towards the back of the room, stretching the Achilles tendon. This is a great stretch in preparation for all the downward dogs that we'll be doing today. Keeping the left leg strong, lift the leg up about parallel with the hip. Stabilizing this pose at the core, reach the right hand forward. And a few breaths here, inhaling in and exhaling out. On an exhale, we're going to bring in the elbow to knee. And on an inhale, we're going to stretch the arm and the leg out from the body. Exhaling in and inhaling out. On your next exhale, think about tucking in at the belly. And inhaling out, stretching towards the front of the room and the back of the room. Exhale in and inhale to open. Again, exhale in and inhale to open. Place the right hand down and move the left foot to the right side of the mat. And perhaps you take a gaze back towards the left foot. Feeling the stretch along the left side of the body, through the ribs, through the hips, down through the leg, out through the heel. Bringing the left leg back through center and placing the knee back down to the ground. We'll switch sides, bringing the right foot towards the back of the mat, reaching towards the back of the room with the heel, stretching out the Achilles tendon. Taking a few breaths here. Again, lifting that right leg up, stabilizing the pose with our core, reaching the left arm out in front of our mat. We'll begin the same series. We'll be bringing in the knee to the elbow on an exhale, rounding out the spine. Inhale to open the pose. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to open. Exhale, tucking in at the belly. Inhale to lengthen from the foot to the hand. Exhale in. Inhale to open. One more time, exhaling in. And inhale to reach and open. Placing the left hand down, let's bring the right foot to the left side of the mat. Perhaps again, you take a gaze back at the right foot. This time feeling the stretch alongside the right side of the body, from the ribs, through the hips, through the leg, out through the heel. Bringing the right leg back to center, placing the right knee on the ground, getting a bend at the toes, pushing back into downward facing dog. Since this is our first dog of the day, maybe you want to pedal it out, bending at the knees. Perhaps you want to bring both heels to the left. pushing back into your dog. And switching sides, bringing both heels over to the right side, again pushing back into your dog. On an inhale, begin to lift your heels, rolling through to plank. On an exhale, or maybe it's a baby plank at this point, and exhaling back into downward dog. Inhale, rise with the heels, roll into a baby plank, pushing back on an exhale to downward dog. One more time, inhale, rising the heels, rolling through to baby plank, and exhale, pushing back into your downward dog. Looking towards the top of your mat, begin to walk to the top. On an inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, folding forward. Again, inhale to open the chest. Exhaling to forward fold. Sweeping the arms high. Bringing the hands through to heart center into Tadasana. We'll inhale again and bring the arms all the way through. On an exhale, folding forward. Stepping back into plank and lowering all the way to the ground. Inhaling into baby cobra, opening the chest, bringing the elbows towards the back of the room, lifting the chin, gazes slightly forward. And exhale to lower down. Let's do this 2 more times. On an inhale, rise into baby cobra, opening through the chest, connecting the shoulder blades, taking notice our tops of our feet are still connected to the mat. Exhale to lower down. And again, inhale to baby cobra, perhaps this time lifting the hands slightly off the mat. Checking to make sure the tops of the feet are still placed on top of the mat. Exhale to lower. Inhale to tabletop and exhale into downward facing dog. Walking to the top of the mat, we'll inhale to lengthen the spine and exhale to forward fold. Again, inhale, opening the chest and releasing on an exhale, forward fold. Inhale to sweep the arms high, bringing the hands through heart center into Tadasana. Again, sweep the hands high, this time forward fold completely. Stepping back into plank and lowering all the way down to the ground. Again, inhale into baby cobra. Feeling the openness through the chest, the connection with the shoulder blades. Exhale to lower. Again, inhale to baby cobra. Noticing the butt is not clenched. And exhale to lower. Again, inhale, baby cobra. Again, this time you may want to lift your hands off of the mat. And exhale to lower. Inhale to tabletop and exhale to downward facing dog. Step, walk, or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to forward fold. Again, inhale, opening the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Sweeping the hands high. Bringing the hands through heart center into Tadasana. Now listen here, we're going to sweep the hands high into Utkatasana. Taking a pause here to feel the strength of this pose. Feeling the connection with the feet to the ground. Rising up to the knees. Maybe perhaps looking down at the knees and ensuring that they're not over the toes. working our way up through the hips with a slight bend at the hips, elongation through the spine. Arms are alongside the head and our gaze is forward. Breathing here. Exhaling into forward fold. Stepping back into plank, lowering down into baby cobra or upward facing dog on an inhale, and on an exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Sweeping the right leg high, bringing the right foot through between the right and left hand, and on an inhale, rise into warrior one, grounding down the back heel. Taking note of where the shoulders and the hips are, that both the shoulders and the hips are facing forward towards the front of your mat, with a bend in the right knee, without too much of a bend, that your knee's not over your toes. Exhale into warrior two. Again, taking note of that front knee. Arms are stretched out alongside the body and align with the shoulders. On an inhale, reverse your warrior. Reaching the right hand towards the back of the room, perhaps your gaze is up. Left hand can be alongside the leg or at the hip. Cartwheeling the hands down into plank, lowering all the way down or part way down. Inhaling into baby cobra or upward facing dog, and exhaling into downward dog. Sweeping the left leg high, bring the left leg through, placing the foot between the hands, and rising into warrior one. Taking a few breaths here to align the hips and the shoulders with the front of the mat. Arms alongside of the head, shoulders relaxed, right foot grounded down. Exhaling into warrior two. Taking note the outside of the right foot is peeled down on the mat. Another breath here. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Again, your right hand could be alongside your leg, around your calf, or at the hip. Feeling the stretch along the left side of the body, cartwheeling the hands down, stepping back into plank, lowering partway or all the way down. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Few breaths here. Inhaling through the mouth. Open mouth, exhale. Sweeping the right leg high, bringing the right leg through, inhaling to warrior one again. Exhaling into warrior two. And this time we're going to begin to straighten our right knee, rotating our body, our upper body, towards the left side of the room. And we'll be inhaling our arms up to the sky. And then exhaling back into warrior two. Again, straightening the right knee, turning the body towards the left side of the room, arms to the sky, and exhale to warrior two. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale the arms high. Exhale to warrior two. Inhale up. Exhale warrior two. Inhale the arms high. And exhale to warrior two. Straighten the right knee and begin to stretch the right hand forward, placing the right hand down alongside the right foot, opening up the chest, lifting the left hand high to the sky into triangle pose. This is a great pose to use a bolster or perhaps a shoebox if you have it, if you can't get your hand all the way to the ground. The key here is just to feel the openness through the chest. Inhale, put a bend in the knee, and exhale into Warrior Two. Inhale, tipping back to reverse your warrior. Exhale to cartwheel your hands down and take your flow. And we'll meet back in downward dog. Sweeping the left leg high, bringing the left foot through, inhaling into Warrior One. Here again, checking that the right heel and foot is grounded onto your mat. Shoulders are relaxed. Exhale into Warrior Two. Again, taking note of your right foot, peeling down the right outer side of the foot towards the mat. Inhale the arms high and exhale to Warrior Two with a forward gaze. Inhale the arms high, exhale to Warrior Two, and we'll do this 3 more times. Inhale the arms high, exhale Warrior Two. Inhale up, exhale into Warrior Two, and inhale, arms high, exhale to Warrior Two. Begin to straighten the left knee, tipping the hips forward, reaching the left hand down towards the left foot, and reaching the right hand up high to the sky, opening the chest. Feeling a nice stretch along the left underside leg, coming up through the calf, through the hamstring, up through the hip. Inhale, bending the knee, exhaling into Warrior Two. Inhale, reversing your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the ground and take your flow. We'll all meet back into downward facing dog. At any time you can skip the flow and meet in child's pose and then down dog. Taking a few breaths to connect with your breath. Inhaling in through the nose, exhaling with an open mouth. Sweeping the right leg high, we're going to bring the right knee to the right elbow and hold, rounding through the spine, tucking in at the belly. Inhale, lifting the right foot high and bringing the right knee to the left elbow. Right leg high on an inhale, right knee to nose and hold. Sweeping the right foot high, bringing the right foot through this time. On an inhale, we'll rise to Warrior One. Straightening the right foot, we're going to rotate the right body over the right hip and exhale into a forward fold. Feeling the stretch on the right leg, through the hamstring, down through the back of the knee, through the calf, and down through the heel. If you have 2 blocks, this is a nice chance to place those alongside your foot to help you get into this stretch. Place the left hand down by the right foot and begin to peel open the chest with the right hand up towards the sky for a reversed triangle. Again, this is another great pose if you have a block. Bringing the right hand back down, step back into plank, and move through your flow, meeting back into downward facing dog. Okay, we'll repeat on the left side, sweeping the left leg high, left knee to left elbow, and hold. Inhale, left leg high, left knee to right elbow, hold. Left leg high, knee to nose and hold. Sweeping the left leg high, this time we'll bring the right foot through between the hands. Inhaling into warrior one. On an inhale, we'll begin to straighten the left leg, turning the torso over the left thigh, and exhaling into a forward fold. Feeling the stretch run down through the left hip, through the hamstring, through the knee, through the calf, and out through the heel. This time we're going to place our right hand along our left foot and bringing our left hand high to the sky on an inhale to open the chest towards the left side of the room. Taking a few breaths here. Placing the hands back down to the ground, stepping back into plank, and going through your flow. Meeting back in downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift the heels and step, walk, or hop to the front of the mat. On an inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to open the chest. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the hands high, bringing the hands through heart center into Tadasana. Feeling the groundedness of Tadasana, the weight evenly spaced between our feet. Begin to shift your weight side to side. And begin to shift your weight into your left foot. Bringing the right knee into a stair step. Wrapping the right hand around the right knee with a flexed foot. Lifting through the left leg, out through the left hip. Lengthening through the spine in a forward gaze. Perhaps you want to bring your left hand high alongside your ear to help counter the pose. On an inhale, bringing the right knee out to the side, left hand drops down towards the left side. Breathing in here. Again, lifting through the left leg. Bringing the right knee back through center, switching the right hand for the left hand, and opening up the right side body to the right side of the room. Right hand goes towards the back of the room. Perhaps your gaze can be towards the back of the room or just to the right side. Holding here for a moment. Bringing the right hand back through, prayer into heart center. Begin to tip the body forward into warrior three. For an extra challenge, you can stretch your hands forward alongside your ears. Lifting through the right leg, through the hamstring. Begin to bring the knee through, back into stair step. Holding again here. And then placing the right foot down and shake it out. We'll repeat this on the left side. So start to shift your weight into your right foot. Lifting at your left knee. Left hand comes to left knee. Left foot is flexed. Grounding through the right foot. Lifting through the right hip. Perhaps you lift the right hand alongside the head. Taking a breath here. Bringing the left knee over to the left side, dropping the right hand to the right side to counterbalance the pose. Breathing here. Bringing the left knee back to center, changing hands so right hand over left knee, reaching the left hand towards the back of the room. Gaze can either be towards the left hand or towards the left side of the room. Lifting through the right leg. Bringing the left hand back into prayer and begin tipping the upper body into Warrior 3. Again, lifting through the hamstring, through the heel, and perhaps you stretch your hands forward. Bringing the left knee back through to stair step, holding here for a moment. And releasing the pose. Go ahead and shake it out. If you're like me, my legs are burning. The shakeout feels good. Inhale, sweeping the arms high. Exhale, bringing the hands through heart center. Inhale again, arms high. Exhale into Utkatasana. Exhale to forward fold. Stepping back into plank. Lowering all the way to the ground. We're going to set up for our back bend series. So placing the hands alongside the body, palms facing up or down, forehead grounded to the mat. We're going to start with a locust pose, and we're going to actually do 3 of those. So you'll have many times to practice. Bring the feet a little bit closer, and then on an inhale, begin to peel open the chest, reaching the feet and the hands towards the back of the room, opening through the chest, connecting the shoulder blades. Gaze should be forward, and really feel a lift at the hamstrings as opposed to clenching the butt. Release with your right cheek alongside the mat, perhaps bending at the knees, swaying the feet side to side, and meeting back into stillness. Do this again, placing the arms alongside the body, exhaling out completely. We'll inhale again, lifting up into locust pose, opening up through the chest, reaching those hands back towards the feet, squeezing in with our thighs, lifting at our heels before we exhale to lower our left cheek to the ground, bending at the knees, swaying our feet side to side, and meeting back in stillness. With our forehead back down towards the mat, we'll take a few breaths in and exhale completely out. Again, stretching the hands alongside the body. Inhale up, opening through the chest, really reaching back, really lifting with the hamstrings, lifting with the heels. And exhale completely into stillness. Pushing into tabletop or plank, exhale into downward facing dog. Sweeping the left leg high, bringing the left knee behind the left hand into pigeon pose. Ensuring that the left foot is flexed to protect our knee, begin to walk your hands back to lengthen through the spine, feeling a nice stretch through the right hip. Perhaps bringing the right foot in towards the center of the body. For those with a little bit more mobility in your hips, you can begin to walk your hands forward. Maybe it's to your elbows. Maybe it's all the way to the ground. And taking a few breaths here in pigeon. As you rise, sweep the right foot around to the left quadricep, placing the right foot flat onto the ground, wrapping the left arm around the right knee, and placing the right hand towards the back of your mat, rotating the spine around towards the right side of the room. Inhaling as we lengthen through the spine, and exhale as we rotate a little further into this pose. Taking a few breaths here, we'll counter the pose. Bring in the left and right hand over to the left side of the body with a little bend, rounding through the spine. Sweeping the right foot towards the back of the mat. Sweeping the left leg high into downward dog. We'll repeat it on the right side, sweeping the right foot high, bringing the right knee behind the right hand, keeping a flex with the right foot, perhaps bringing the left foot back into center, walking our hands back to our shin. Again, feeling that stretch through the left hip. You can stay here if this feels good, or you can begin to walk your hands forward, perhaps dropping down completely or to your forearms, and taking a few breaths here. Inhaling up to rise, sweeping the left foot all the way through to the right side of the body, connecting the ankle with the right quadricep, wrapping the right hand around the left knee, placing the left hand towards the back of the mat. Inhale to lengthen the spine, and exhale to rotate towards the back of the room. Every inhale you should lengthen, and exhale, further deepening into the stretch. Counter the pose, bringing the right and left hand to the right side of the mat, rounding through the spine. Sweeping that left foot back around, bringing the right foot up high and meeting in downward dog. Inhale, jump through all the way to seated position, placing the feet towards the top of the mat, hands stretched out towards the front. We'll begin to slowly make our way down to the mat. On an inhale, we're going to begin to tuck the belly in and slowly rolling down one vertebrae at a time to lower the upper body to the mat. Inhale, reaching the arms high overhead for a full body stretch. And exhale, gently bringing the knees into the chest, wrapping the hands around the shin. Perhaps tucking your chin into your chest, bringing the forehead to the knees, lowering back down the head if you brought your head in, opening the feet into Happy Baby. Now in Happy Baby, you can either have your hands on the inside of the feet or the outside, whichever is in your practice. And maybe you want to rock your baby from side to side or just stay in stillness. The important part here is to have that connection with the lower back to the mat. Bring the knees back into the chest, opening the hands to either side of the body. Slowly drop the knees to the left side of the body and turn your gaze towards the right hand. Taking a few breaths here to feel the stretch along the right leg, right side of the body. Slowing down the heart. Thanking yourself for showing up on the mat today. Bringing the knees back to center and dropping to the other side. Gaze slowly moves to the left. Feeling the nice stretch in your lower back from all the locust pose that you did today. Bringing the knees back in, wrapping the hands around the shins, tucking in one more time, squeezing real tight. And let's lower everything into Shavasana. Maybe it's bringing the left hand to the heart, right hand to the belly. Coming back to your intention. If you would like to stay here, please feel free to do so. If you would like to finish, bringing the knees in into one side of the body, closing in a seated position. Taking a collective breath in and exhaling out through the mouth. Again, we'll inhale in and exhale out through the mouth. I want to thank everybody for joining me today. I want to thank you for showing up on the mat today. I look forward to everybody joining us for the next progression class. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.